varnish.
I also imagine that. Let's look at this.
Probably some black.
Babbitt Ranches has invited scientists to study northern Arizona rocks to learn more about the environment on Mars. The recent discovery of manganese on the red planet opens up new possibilities for life on that planet. That's because manganese occurs on Earth with bacteria and fungi in a thin, dark rock covering called rock varnish, which is abundant at Black Point lava flow. Nina Lanza is a planetary geologist with the Los Alamos National Lab.
This is such a great Mars analog because basalt is the building block of planets. And so this type of material is essentially what Mars is made out of. The thing that we're most interested out here is actually looking at a surface coating that forms on these basaltic rocks called rock varnish. So this is a manganese and iron-rich coating that forms in arid environments all over the Earth. We're not totally sure how this forms, but we were thinking, it has to do with something to do with the arid environment and probably microbes.
Using picks and drills, Lanza and the scientific team collect rock varnish samples. Caltech geobiology doctorate student Usha Lingappa conducts tests at the site.
To determine if a material has oxidized manganese in it, we can use this dye called leucoberberlin blue, which at first is going to be colorless, like this. But once we add material to it, if there is manganese oxide in it, it'll react pretty specifically with this dye and it'll turn blue. I just scraped some varnish off of a rock right over there. And if I add it to this dye, you can see it already starting to turn. And after several minutes, it'll be much darker like this.
Microbial physiologist Chris Yeager is bringing samples back to the National Lab. He says DNA testing will focus on genes and pathways that could allow microorganisms to flourish in extreme environments, like the Arizona desert or the freezing temperatures of Mars.
There are bacteria and fungi that inhabit the rock surfaces. A number of people have taken micrographic images and found bacteria. Previous people have also done DNA extractions off of varnish from a few places. However, what people haven't done to this point is determine which of those bacteria naturally habitate these surfaces, live there, make their living there, versus which ones blow in on the dust.
Caltech geobiology professor Woody Fisher says manganese, in the form that exists at Black Point, doesn't show up on Earth without photosynthesis. He calls it surprising to find this material in the Martian geologic record.
One of the reasons that we're really excited about this is these are mineral phases that, at least on the Earth, are intimately tied with life. Now, we don't know whether Mars was living or not, but we want to study these phases that occur there to try to understand that and evaluate that question better.
The scientists believe if they can better understand the connection between rock varnish and microbes on Earth, they can try to understand what that might mean with similar material on Mars.
Babbitt Ranches is like the greatest place to do geology for a number of reasons. Of course, we've got a lot of different rock types here. We've got this basaltic lava flow on top of these sedimentary rocks from the Grand Canyon. So it's a lot of different rock types. But I think what's so great about the folks here is that they just love science and will do, essentially anything to help us get the data that we need.
Reporting from Black Point lava flow, I'm Bonnie Stevens.